Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So we are on block 15 of our Mystery Star quilt. I'm sorry about the birds in the background. Just hopefully they're not too noisy. Anyway, block 15. So this month we are doing cotton reels, and that is what it looks like right there. Pretty easy block. Just it's a 4-patch basically with a couple half square triangles, so it should be pretty quick and pretty simple. If you're just new joining us, what we are doing is a mystery star block. So our star legs for our outside of our block are the same every month, and we just do different inserts. If you need directions or sizes or anything on how to do the star legs, go back to the very first video in this playlist and I go over that very first thing, and then you can follow through and catch up. We're going to try to do 20 blocks, and then I've got a few extra bonus blocks, so if you wanted to make your quilt a little bigger, table runner, pillows, whatever, we have some extra blocks that you can choose from to put your quilt together. And I didn't realize that looked so crappy hanging on my wall there. I've got everything just I'm looking into the camera going, that'll look too good. I should have straightened it up. But anyway, all right, so let's get started. So for this one, you're going to need 3 colors. You're going to need a dark, a medium, and then a solid background. Now I'm using these are my 2 colors here, and then I'm going to use this gray for a background. So from your dark and your medium, you're going to need a 4-inch square of each. And from your solid background, you just need 2 3.5-inch squares. That's it. So, and then of course your star legs. Super easy. So let's get started. Okay, so I drew a line on the back of one of my 4-inch squares, and we're just going to make half square triangles. We need 2 half square triangles with these 2 colors. So that's easy peasy. So you draw your line corner to corner diagonally. We're going to sew 1/4 of an inch away on either side of that line. So just go down one side. And then turn it around and go down the other. Okay, so you should have it looking like that. Now we're going to cut on that drawn line in the center. All right, so I'm just going to bring the board up here. And then we are going to trim these half square triangles down to 3.5 inches. You can do that however you want. If you have a ruler that trims them before you iron, you can trim them now. Or after you iron. I'm going to do mine after I press them, because I have a block ruler. So on mine, because both my fabrics are kind of dark, I'm just going to choose the blue to press the side to press it to. I'll get it out in a minute. Sometimes I get a little tongue-tied, and I'm sure you guys have noticed. All right, so then I'm going to bring my cutting board back up here. Now I'm using a block ruler, so whatever method, you can use just a regular ruler, whatever method you want to use to trim these down. They need to be trimmed down to 3.5 inches, and it looks like I'm going to have to trim both sides of this one. And that's why I like starting with the bigger square, because you can always trim it down, but it's really hard to add to it if it's not the right size. I know some ladies that can trim their squares to 3.5, do all this, and still get a 3.5. I am not one of those people, so I have to cut mine bigger and then trim it down. I've been learning how to do foundation paper piecing, and I have learned a lot from a lot of people. Of course, some of it will not apply to me because it's just not the way I do things. But, you know, in quilting, we all got to find our own rhythm and find what works for us. I mean, there's really no right way or wrong way. As long as you get the same results, it's all good. All right. So those should be 3.5 right there. So then you will need your 2 3.5-inch background squares, and we're just going to lay our block out. So these are going to go on one side with the same color pointing up and the same color pointing down, and then this is just going to go here, and it's just going to be a simple 4-patch at this point. So pretty neat. So we'll just flip this over here and take it over to the sewing machine. Okay, so I've got both of these. They're in opposites here, and they're both going the same direction, so I'm just going to flip that over, and we're going to stitch these 1/4 of an inch and just make a little 4-patch. just going to chain piece these through, and then that way they're already attached. Nothing's out of order or mixed up. Alright, and then we'll open these up. And I'm just going to finger press my seams to the background fabric. I think I might have cut one of these just a wee bit short. I think it'll be alright though. Alright, and then flip it over, nest our seams, and stitch those together. And that's it. We have our block. Just like that. So let's get this pressed. You can press the seam open on this where you attached them if you wanted to, or on all of them. It doesn't matter. This little unit here should measure 6.5 inches when it's finished. I don't know why I forget to bring my star and ruler, but that's all right. So that's it right there. Super cute. Just like that. All right, so then we just need to add our star legs, and I've got mine all ready to go. So I've got my sides, and it looks like mine is 6.5 because it's matching up with these. I did measure those. So we'll put our little star legs on here, and there we go. Be good to go. Oh, what a cute little block. Okay, so let's sew the sides onto the center first. All right, so we're going to sew the sides on first. So 1/4 inch seam. Alright, turn that around. Make sure that's going the right direction. Lost my point on that one. Yep, that's okay. I'm good with it though. It's not that much. So then I'm going to fold these seams to the inside. It seems like it's a little less bulk, and again, you could press these open just to reduce some bulk right here where your star points come together, but I'm good with what I got here going here. So then we'll put our side legs on, 1/4 inch seam, and just match that. Alright, that one is going to match there and there. I really need to put my other foot on here, but I've got a foot with a guide because I am not real consistent with my 1/4 inch seam sometimes. Even though I follow the little lines on the thing, I still, I have a tough time with it. So, but that's all right. That's like this one's just a little bit over. I'm just going to compensate for that by lining everything else up. And we should be good to go. I think that goes that way. There we go. Just nest your seams right here as best as you can. And if you find that one side, if one side is bigger or just a tad longer than the other side, put it on the bottom. When you're sewing it, the feed dogs will pull up more fabric, and that should ease it right in. I mean, if it's, a 1/2 inch or more, it might be a little hard to ease in. But if it's just a little bit, 1/8 inch, maybe even 1/4 inch, sometimes you can get that to ease in by doing that. And if all else fails, you can just trim it off. Like right here, I've got just a little bit. It's just a little over by, I don't know, 1/16 of an inch or so. I'm not going to worry about that. I will trim it down. But there is our block. How cute is that? Cotton reels. I wonder why they call it cotton reels. Huh. Must be an old block. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's get this pressed up. Okay, so I like to start pressing from the back and just kind of get everything whichever way it's going to start going, and then I can just turn it over and get it from the front. And I usually starch it, but I did not bring my starch, so that's okay. Now this block should measure 12.5 inches unfinished or 12 inches finished, whichever makes sense to your brain. It's the same thing, just the way you say it. And I can see that I'm gonna have to trim mine down. I got just a little bit hanging over there, but everything else looks really good. And I will measure it and trim it down, but there is our block, cotton reels. So there we go. Oops, there's our block, cotton reels. I'm not sure why they call it that. I'll have to look that up. Like I said, I bet it's an old block. Peggy might know. We did a sampler last year, Kansas City paper. It was blocks that were in the Kansas City paper back in the 30s and 40s. And there was a little history with each one of the blocks. And it was very interesting to learn, you know, how some blocks came about. And then, of course, there were a lot of blocks that had one name back then and they're another name now, but it's the same exact block. It's just interesting to me to see the progression of quilting. So, but anyway, there we go. Cotton reels, super cute little block. I love it. I wasn't sure if I was going to like that turquoise and purple, but I like it. I think it's going to be cute. So anyway, there you go. Now remember, I don't monitor this channel very much, so if you have any questions, just email me at dmg719@gmail.com. I'll be a lot quicker to respond that way. And yeah, if you want to show off your blocks and you have not joined yet, join us over at Peggy's Quilting Group on Facebook. Its name is Peggy's Quilting Group, and great group of gals, very creative, lots of creativity, lots of inspiration over there. No quilting police. We're all just, you know, there to support each other and have a good time sewing. And Peggy does giveaways. She just did a book giveaway, so it's a lot of fun. But yeah, join us over there, and I will see you for block 16. I'll try to get it this weekend. No promises. But anyway, we're started off with our August, so I'll see you guys later.